Hello there folks, today we're taking a look at the game called Sweet Nose. It's published by Mozi Games and the designers are Frank Liu and Jason Lin.
The game is based on a really old Chinese legend. I'm not going to tell it all, but basically it's about a man called Sweet Nose. He ordered too much and he ended up turning into ants. The very first ants in the world.
So, take a seat, grab a drink, and the legend shall be told. Sweet Nose is played over the course of 3 rounds, and then whoever has the least amount of points will be the winner of the game. So it's vice versa from the usual thing. Not the most points, but the least points. So, in this game, basically, you will exchange sweets with each other. You will use the store's special ability, and then you will count the sweetness points and try not to be the sweetest person in the world. Here we have the markets. Right here we have our own plates. There's 2 plates, one for the exchange when you get something, one when you give something out, and you also have these 5 tokens. And basically the first phase revolves around these 5 tokens. You have these tokens, these are the numbers from 1 to 5, and you will basically set these tokens right here that way in the order you want. So what does it mean when I set up these tokens? It means that this is a multiplier, which means that, let's put it away for a moment. For example, if I put the 4 here, it's the multiplier. So if I get a certain amount of these candies, it will be multiplied by this number and I will get the certain amount of points. So what I want to do, I want to get less of these sweets. And I'm okay with getting these green sweets because it's only a multiplier of 1 and so on. So it's a little bit of bluffing in here. So you will set up these tokens right here, at some point, let's say like that. And then you will start exchanging sweets, starting from the first player. And you will do like that. So let's say one thing you can do, you can exchange with another player. Let's say I want to exchange with the green player. I'll just take one of my sweets, put it on his green plate right here, and take 1 sweet from him onto my plate. So let's say I'm okay. Let's say it's a different one. Let's say I didn't want. So what's my 5? 5 is this white one. Yeah. Let's say I'm gonna put this white right there, and I'm okay with this pink sweets or even the red sweets. They are fine for me still, not the biggest multiplier. So then that player will change with the another player, and then you will change with each other. At some point you will get more of these sweets, and the round will end whenever one of the players will run out of the sweets in this red plate right here. Then you will count points. Let's say the round was over and I had these sweets right here, yeah? Okay. So, I will look at these multipliers. Let's say the multiplier for green for me right now is 4. I have 3 sweets of that, so 3 times 4 is 12 points. But there's one thing, there's also in markets. And I didn't mention before that the other thing, the other action you can do instead of changing sweets with each other, you can change a sweets with the market. So you can put 1 sweet on the market and take another one on your plate, and the same red plate. So basically changing with the market. What the market does now, the thing is, when you look at this market, if you have any sweets matching the market sweets, you will add to the multiplier of that candy. What that means, for example, if my green candy was with 4, now with this sweet, extra sweet, it counts as 5. So I will have to multiply 3 by 5, which means 15, quite a lot of points. And I will mark it down. I will mark it down for each sweet. Right here, I'll multiply, and then I'm gonna take my token, and let's say I got 28 in total. And all the other players will do the same. The cool thing here is that you are trying to basically guess what candies players do not want to be in their reserve as the round ends, so they will not get the most points. and you are trying to get rid of the sweets that you don't want to be on your plate. But it's basically all about deduction and bluffing and such. So after you have counted all the sweets, you will put the marker here, and then you will put your meeple right here. Later on, when you get the new amount of, in the new round, you will get the new amount of points. You will mark it like that, so it's, let's say, on the 24. So then I will add 24 to 28, and then I will put my meeple to which is 52, basically, yeah. So that's how it goes. But every round you will look at these counts right here, these round markers, and you can then take one of the stores from here, and these stores are special abilities. Basically, you can exchange sweets from another player with your own sweets, like maybe two different sweets. What this was, you can change sweets from, was it, I think it was the blue was your plate. It doesn't really matter. Basically, you can change from that type of plate to the other type of plate and so on. So you can do all the different stuff. And depending on how many points you got during the round, let's say I got 24 points. These are the numbers right here. So it's 26 plus. So I didn't get 26 plus points. So I cannot use these stores, but I can use 22, 19 or 17. And I can basically choose from any of these right here. And these are all the different special abilities. Maybe I can exchange sweet with the market. So, and these are like an extra actions right there as well. And then the other player choose and the third player choose. And during the exchange sweet phase, where you exchange sweet with each other or with the markets, you can use the store's abilities as well as an addition. And you will play it 3 rounds, and whoever has the least amount of total of the sweetness will be the winner of the game. I like the candies in this game, this different shaped candies, the custom meeples, the boards, the player boards are really thick. It's really cool. The art on them is really engaging. So I do like all the components, the production of them and the art itself. There's nothing bad to say about it.
Yeah, I agree. This game is definitely appealing. Like whenever you have it on the table, everybody's gonna come over and check what is that, because it just looks cool.
Yeah. And then you get to the theme. And then you explain. There's basically the legend about the sweet nose and how blah blah blah. When you get to the game, there is no such legend in the game. There's not that theme, but the legend is cool.
It's just like inspired from this legend.
Yeah. There's no direct connection between the legend and the game itself, the game theme. But the game is, the theme is weird, but it's cool. I like it. It's different. It's like exchanging candies. I don't know. It just seems weird when you think about it. When we looked at it first at Essen, I was like, nah, it's weird. But there's a game behind it. There's a serious game behind a silly theme, in my opinion. So.
Yeah. And this game is all about outguessing, outsmarting, like all of that, like thinking and trying to understand what opponent is doing.
Yes.
And you really want to like figure out which candies does this opponent want more, which ones he wants to get rid of. So you're gonna definitely put those he wants to like get rid of. So I don't know, it's all about that, like full game. Yeah, maybe it's like pretty much one mechanic or like two, so like not a lot, but there's so much in it, just so much in it. And you want to be smart enough. So one thing is like you want to figure out what opponent is doing, and second thing, you want to be smart the way you manage your candies. You want to be, you don't want to be too obvious what are you getting rid of or what do you want to get, because they're definitely going to do the opposite way if they figure it out. So I think there is like quite a lot of that thinking on like in 2 levels, and that's complicated, especially like in the very beginning, to understand how should you think and what should you do.
Yeah, how should you set prices.
That's absolutely amazing in this game. I really like it.
Yeah, I do agree. Especially this is like a major part of the game, is just setting the prices.
Yep.
But it's just a small, like, I mean, like the time-wise, it's a small phase. But setting up those prices is something crucial.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because you look at what you have on your plate, what the others have, and then when you start changing, you really need to be smart.
Yeah, there's actually one more thing, like the candies in the market in the middle. Like it's so easy to screw with your opponents by putting a candy there, which like everybody else has. So you have to constantly think, where do you change? So yeah, there's actually, I completely forgot, that's like pretty much one additional level of thinking is the market.
Yeah, I do like the market aspect where it adds to the multiplier
Yep.
of these, well, the score, where you want to get the lowest score instead of the highest. But there's one thing about this game that's a little bit confusing. These are I call them 2 plates, but there's 1 plate, 1 bowl. Whenever you like take something from give a candy to your opponent, you put it on his bowl, and take a candy from his plate to your own bowl. And it might be a little bit confusing because both of them are just tiles. One is green, one is red. And we had one player constantly like having mistakes, putting the candies in the wrong plate. Yeah, every single turn.
And I think we were as well confusing that in the beginning, like first couple of rounds, we were confusing that as well. So we had to check whatever everything else is doing.
It's a crossing that you need to take it from one plate, put into the another, and then that, and crisscross. But I mean, like, there maybe should have been something else beside the plate, and like the plate is fine or the ball is fine, maybe something completely different that would, like, I don't know, inspire to do it the right way.
I'm not sure that would fix, because the whole idea is like, as you mentioned, like crossing, like complete different opposites. So I'm not sure if there will be a basket or a plate or like completely different things. I'm not sure it would fit.
I think if there would be, like, for example, I take a candy from my bowl and put it on a player's board for the score, and then take from him and put on if there would be my player board and a ball, and exchanging between that would be less confusing to me, at least. So it's individual.
I'm not fully sure it would fix.
Okay, maybe. But there's one thing about the shop tiles as well. The shop tiles are special abilities, and that's where the confusion adds as well, because the shop tiles give you advantage, they give you special abilities, give you ability, for example, to change from bowl to bowl, from plate to plate, your own, the opponents. The iconography is, I don't know, it's not
really intuitive. Yes.
Yeah, because
it's fine, but not intuitive.
Yeah. There is white and blue.
Yeah.
Blue means, I think, opponents, white means yours, or the other way. So as you can see, it's confusing. Why blue, why white? So the iconography is not so clean, but you can understand it eventually if you read just on the sides. And the shop tiles themselves, this is a really cool idea, but I didn't find it like engaging. It was nothing like, if it would be taken away from the game, I would be fine.
Yep.
I would not like.
Yeah, it was pretty much the same. I really like the idea of them. I like the actions there, but I ended up most of them not using. But still, I think it's quite important to have those shop tiles, because if you in this particular round you score more, you'll get a bigger option and you'll get cooler shop tiles, which is a catch-up mechanic. So if you scored a lot, which is bad, in this round, then you will have options to like mitigate that in next round, which is, I think, quite important actually. I think it's really good that that designer thought about that and then put it in. So there is like one thing in this game, as I already mentioned, you have to score less. So you don't want to score a lot. So this is the moment where you're like, oh, I scored a lot, so I'll get like a cool shop tile. But on the other hand, you just don't want that. So it's a good conflict. It's definitely not a bad thing in this game. In my opinion, it's a really good conflict, like a moment of decision, which one for you on this particular moment is more important. In most of the games, it's more important to score less.
I can see where there's the balance between the shop tiles and the bad high score. So and I like how it accumulates. So if you score really bad, really high on one round, the second round you can score really low, and the other player scores really high, so you will balance out. So I couldn't see any runaway leader problem there.
Agree.
Because somebody was like, I remember somebody was like, oh, I'm scoring high all the time, and then at some point he wasn't.
The third round it was.
Probably you were the one who.
I don't remember.
Went to the high score.
So like everything changes so everything can change quite a lot within the rounds. So I agree. There is
depending on the multipliers on the candies as well. Just a lot. If you guess it all right, you can score really low and make your opponent suffer. With the candies, lots of candies, they have to eat too much.
Sugar rush.
Sugar rush! Right.
What I really love about the game is that everything is human factor. You pretty much don't have luck at all, or like super like tiny luck, but it's not like pure strategy. So it's everything is in your brain. So how do you think? How much do you see? How can you like outsmart? And that adds, I think, a little bit of replay value as well, because the game can be different with a new group, or you can start like figuring everything out with a new group. So I really enjoy
so
that.
Basically, what you say, basically the shop tiles are open, and the random factor where you can get the candy you don't want just because somebody gave it to you out of random. It's just because of the other player and not because of the game,
yes.
Which is really cool. Yeah, I agree on that completely. The game itself, though, it has some caveats like the shop tiles, iconography, and then the balls confusions or place confusion. It doesn't take away from the smoothness of the game still, in my opinion, because you are still just setting prices and then exchanging candies and then scoring, and it's so easy. Just do the math at the end of the round, and that's it. So there's nothing overwhelming.
Yeah.
There's nothing too big to be complicated. It's really smooth experience.
If you play the very first time, the first round, you probably are gonna be confused, not knowing like how to think, what to do, what to expect. But usually from the next round, it just clicks, and you know, okay, just give me time to think, and you will think, at least you will think you know how to think what to do here. But yeah,
so we haven't played with the highest player count, but I know like I don't think it matters a lot. I think more players is better, maybe, or it's almost the same.
3 and 4, right?
We played 3 and 4 players, yes,
up to 5.
So it was basically the same. I like it the same ways.
Yes.
So there's nothing really that changes a lot with more players.
Doesn't add the downtime either, so yeah.
Yeah, not too much. It adds a little bit to the game, but I mean,
mini, but
yeah. So overall, I do enjoy this game. I do enjoy its theme. It's weird. It's not like I want to play it every day, all the time, but it's something that time to time I will get out and I will show to someone who is not maybe into games even that much, because it isn't that difficult.
Yep.
So it towards not the gateway game, but it towards that. Or maybe I just want to play a weird theme, a cool theme, you know, and just exchange candies. There's something in this game that holds. It's in our collection, but I wouldn't say that it's an amazing game. So
I would say that the game is somewhat unique. At least it gives you quite unique gaming experience, because you don't really have this feeling in other games. At least I don't remember any other game like that. So, but I really enjoy the game. I really enjoy the whole human factor in it, and like zero luck, but there's zero luck, but it's not fully strategy. There is some random, but it's not a random. So it is really unique game.
Yeah, if somebody changes a random thing with you, they screw up. Yeah. Okay. So that's our review. That's our thoughts on Sweet Nose. Thanks for watching. We see you another time. Bye bye.